the face, the only face, the real face of women's basketball, period. She did it again, Caitlin Clark, shattering records, creating new viewership records for USA Sports. She did it again. Y'all keep running around trying to pretend like this person's the face of the league, that person's the face of the league because they've been here.
The executive boardrooms at WNBA headquarters descended into complete chaos, and league officials are scrambling in a state of emergency tonight. In an unprecedented power move that sent shockwaves across the entire sports world, Caitlin Clark delivered a direct, uncompromising ultimatum to front office gatekeepers. Fresh off breaking yet another historic record and claiming Player of the Week honors, Clark didn't celebrate her massive personal victory. Instead, she turned her attention straight toward league leadership, demanding the immediate reinstatement of Sophie Cunningham after her shocking union suspension, making it abundantly clear that if they don't resolve this crisis immediately, she is walking away and taking millions of viewers with her. To truly understand the panic currently gripping network executives and administrative committees, you have to examine the questionable politics that triggered this confrontation in the first place. Sophie Cunningham, one of the most authentic, hard-nosed, and fan-favorite personalities in modern women's basketball, was hit with a baffling, heavy-handed union restriction that left millions of fans completely outraged. Rather than rewarding actual merit and on-court grit, administrative officials decided to play backroom politics, sidelining Cunningham, and hoping the public wouldn't notice. But they made one massive, critical mistake. They completely underestimated Caitlin Clark's loyalty to authenticity.
More than 50 years of sports business, Darren Rovell is telling the truth. Leagues and unions have been long forbidden using derogatory NIL. The most popular NBA student example of this is the Reggie Miller choke and crotch grab. There she is, Helen of Troy. There she is, Helen of Troy, Sophie Cunningham herself. They generally do not know how to run a marketing campaign. Folks, when I first saw this, I was like, dude, who is this troll? Who is this troll? But then I looked at the source and I was like, oh, this is a real source. This isn't some Joe.
Didn't send a polite email or issue a sanitized corporate statement through a public relations team. She stepped directly into the spotlight, made her position unmistakably clear, and uttered words that will resonate through sports history. Bring Sophie back and remove the ban, or you're going to ruin yourselves. Every word coming out of Clark's mouth carried millions of dollars in broadcast value. She openly exposed the gatekeepers for sabotaging their own platform, making it crystal clear to the entire world that she will not stand by while the league mistreats genuine stars who built this game alongside her. The financial reality facing the league right now is a complete nightmare for network sponsors. When Caitlin Clark takes the court, broadcast numbers soar to unprecedented heights, drawing well over 1.4 million dedicated fans every single night who tune in exclusively to watch her play. Without Clark, those broadcast metrics immediately disappear.
Lady right here, Sophie Cunningham. So that takes us back to Darren Rovell. The WNBA Players Association is currently prohibiting licensees from using the Sophie Cunningham point, saying that it is, quote, derogatory. What? What? That is absurd. And if I was Sophie Cunningham, I would be kicking and screaming. What? I saw this and was like, oh, this league is ate up with the perpetually offended. The most viral moment of the year can't get licenses because you got players that were offended by it. Remember all the people online? Oh, that's so disrespectful to black women.
Threatening to withdraw her star power in defense of Sophie Cunningham, Clark effectively placed the entire economic engine of the sport in her hands. She proved in a single moment that those 1.4 million fans don't belong to the league's corporate brand. They belong to her. Behind locked doors at corporate headquarters, high-level meetings have descended into chaotic arguments and blame shifting. Network producers who already pre-sold millions of dollars in primetime advertising slots are firing off frantic emergency calls to league executives. How do you explain to global sponsors that your marquee superstar is threatening a complete shutdown over an unjust player suspension? The gatekeepers who spent years wielding their administrative power over athletes are suddenly realizing they have no leverage left. They either bow to Clark's demands or watch their entire enterprise collapse live on national television.
That's really the question. Like, is Caitlyn going to be your superstar? And you're Batman, and Kelsey, you're Robin.
The fact that this even has to be a conversation is why this thing needs to be split apart. The Indiana Fever, when Caitlyn and Kelsey play, yes, they're effective because they're both really, really great basketball players. I mean, well, Kelsey, she could score. She don't do nothing else, but she could score the hell out the basketball. But the fact that there's no pecking order established, it's like a free-for-all, that is the problem. That's the problem. The Dallas Wings established a pecking order. The Las Vegas Aces established a pecking order. The Liberty established a pecking order. Like all these other superstars, or not other stars, because they're not superstars because people don't really watch them. But all of the other great players, LA Sparks, Kelsey Plum, there's a pecking order. The Indiana Fever is the only place where there's no real pecking order. And that's the problem.
When last year, when Caitlyn was then you relied heavily on Kelsey. And you guys were one game away from making it to the finals, right? So my thing is,
every team facility in the country, players are watching this historic standoff with absolute awe. For decades, traditional league structures forced athletes to remain silent, accept unfair administrative decisions, and comply with corporate agendas out of fear. But Caitlyn Clark's powerful stand for Sophie Cunningham has permanently shattered those constraints. The locker room culture has shifted forever. Athletes across the sport are realizing that when top-tier talent stands up against backroom politics and selective favoritism, the corporate suits are completely powerless to stop them. Mainstream sports commentators who usually defend corporate policies are now forced to sit live on air and confront an uncomfortable reality. Analysts who spent months arguing that Clark's massive cultural footprint was just standard league growth have been completely undermined by reality. The moment Clark raised her voice to defend Cunningham, social media erupted into a full-scale movement. Millions of fans flooded comment sections, boycotting official network pages and backing Clark's ultimatum with absolute unwavering support.
Every time she sets foot on the court whilst shattering viewership records, that's Caitlyn Clark for you, the face of the league. Yeah. Look, Aces... Oh man, maybe it was Ace's Sun. I thought it was Ace's Sparks. Ace's Sun USA 343,000. Wow, I thought it was Ace's Sparks. Maybe they just don't have the Ace's Sparks on this list, but damn. That's bad news bears. That's bad. The 3 highest rated games on USA, Fever Sparks, Fever Tempo, Fever Sparks. Oh, one common denominator to certain somebody's team. Is it not? Is it not Jamel Hill? Let's get into the player of the week, shall we? Your AP player of the week, Caitlyn Clark. Many people reported on this yesterday. Many people talked about this yesterday. Congratulations to Caitlyn Clark, player of the week, well deserved. Getting player of the week while on minutes restriction is wild work. It's crazy. Absolutely insanity. Caitlyn Clark by herself is must-see TV. She is amazing and the only person I have to drop everything I'm doing to watch her play. WNBA candidate and all.
This isn't just about a single player suspension or a single week of basketball. It is a fundamental shift in how modern media empires function. For years, executive boards believed they could control the narrative, hide behind selective rules, and decide who gets promoted and who gets silenced. But true generational stardom cannot be controlled by a committee. Clark's drawing power is built on raw, authentic passion and genuine solidarity with her peers. When she speaks, millions move with her, leaving the legacy gatekeepers completely helpless. Major corporate sponsors are now applying extreme pressure on the league office to resolve the crisis immediately. Multi-million-dollar brand contracts are hanging in the balance as corporate attorneys review the catastrophic fallout of a potential Clark boycott. Corporate executives don't care about backroom union politics or administrative pride. They care about viewership and public goodwill. And right now, public goodwill is 100% behind Caitlyn Clark and Sophie Cunningham, leaving league officials backed into a corner with nowhere left to turn.
Top 4 three-point shooters in the entire WNBA. Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and we have Caitlyn Clark. There wasn't a picking the best the most popular player, but clear anti-fever agenda. Now, I believe they might have tweeted this before news came out that Caitlin Clark actually declined that, but I don't know if Sophie would have turned it down. Now, we don't know if they invited Sophie, but I'm pretty sure Sophie is definitely going to respond to this. You know what I'm saying? I do know Sophie do respond to people. If we like add her a bunch of times on Twitter, try to see why, like, got to be something we could do. Sophie Cunningham, as of right now, is 43%. Aaliyah Boston, 46%. Kelsey Mitchell, 42%. Wow. Wow, bro. So, technically, Aaliyah Boston is the best three-point shooter right now in the whole W. Wow, bro. Where's AZ Foot at? Wow. Wow. It's definitely going to be a boring three-point contest. But I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now. Make sure you guys keep them bills on. I will be back with more.
Public response to this ultimatum has turned into an unstoppable cultural movement. Fan groups across every major platform have started organizing massive viewership boycotts, promising to turn off their screens the moment any game airs without Clark or Cunningham. The message from the audience is ringing loud and clear. Sports fans demand fairness, respect, and authentic competition, and they will gladly watch the entire league's ratings decline if executive suits refuse to do the right thing. The line in the sand has been drawn permanently, and there is no going back for the front office. The administrative gatekeepers can try to spin the narrative, release damage control statements, or hide behind legal language, but the public sees the unvarnished truth. Caitlin Clark has officially used her massive record-breaking platform to protect her fellow players, exposing the corporate machine and proving once and for all that true greatness will always triumph over administrative corruption.
Just proud of our group, and obviously a lot of people stepped up in AB's absence, and obviously KK, was incredible tonight too.
You said you could tell before the game started. Was there a moment or point in time where that happened? Did a specific thing happen? How did that feeling come for you?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you just have to believe you're going to have those type of nights, and you have to visualize having those type of nights. And I feel like that's what I did. And, it's not always going to go your way. Sometimes there's going to be, a stretch where the ball's not going through the rim and you can't get discouraged. And I know all the time and the work that I've put in, and people believe in me, and more than anything, I believe in myself. And, you just got to dig your feet in a little bit. And, when it's not going your way, nobody cares. Find a way to make it better and find a way to help your team win and make this team better. And I feel like that's what I always try to do.
It's 102 type. You're kind of scrambling a little bit as the shot clock's kind of going down. They got a deflection, circled back towards half court and kind of went up. Can you take us through that? I think that was your 41st point to kind of go ahead that whole play.
Yeah, obviously we had the ball with the game tied, and they kind of blew up our ATO. They played good defense and, got a good tip on the ball, and I was able to chase it down and then get the deflection, which I don't know if I got her on the arm or if it was clean, but I'm not sure the ref was in a position to make the call. I think it was pretty clean. I don't know, but just tried to make a good play on the ball. And then obviously coming back down, I was trying to get the ref to inbound it faster. I wanted to play fast. I didn't want them to set.
What is your raw, unfiltered reaction to Caitlin Clark threatening the entire league to stand up for Sophie Cunningham? Is this the greatest power move in modern sports history? Or did the league ruin its own reputation by trying to ban fan-favorite stars in the first place? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below right now. Let's start a massive discussion down in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe with all notifications turned completely on so you never miss another history-shattering breakdown. And share this video with every single fan who demands the truth. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the very next explosive broadcast.